After studying this module, you shall be able to understand the meaning of organizational structure and design, conceptualize contingency theory of organizational structure, distinguish between organic and mechanistic structures, identify various types of organizational structures, and know about the recent innovations in organizational designs. Introduction. To meet the competitive environment of the contemporary times, organizations have adopted various innovative ways of organizational structures and designs. The structure and design of an organization is essential to form a framework on the basis of which behavior and attitudes of the employees are shaped. The structure is also essential to motivate and coordinate people, functions, and divisions effectively. It is especially vital for the sustenance of larger organizations than smaller ones. The preset module details about the relationship between organizational structure and design. It explains the main contingencies that affect the process of organizational structure. The three contingencies, namely organizational, environment, information technology, and human resources, are discussed in light of today's organizational structures. Further, the main structures that organizations use to distinguish their activities and to group people into functions or divisions are elaborated. The 5 main organizational structures explained in the module are functional, product, market, geographic, and matrix. Finally, the emerging trends in organizational design, that is, the team-based designs and the virtual designs, are explained. Organizational structure and organizational design. The main aim of employees working in any organization is to accomplish the organizational goals and targets. This is only possible if organization is successful in establishing the structure in a way that working relationships among its employees are harmonious. The structure and design of an organization largely regulate and predict the behavior of employees working in it. Moreover, with changing trends, advancement in information technology, and globalization, it is imperative that organizations adopt innovative ways of designs and structures in which people and groups can function efficiently to meet the challenges of competitive environment. Choosing an appropriate structure and then designing it in an effective way is a significant challenge for an organization. At times, this becomes a parameter of distinction between effective organizations from the ineffective ones. Design and structure of an organization is significant in a number of ways as described. First, it is directly related to employees' motivation to work hard and to enhance supportive work attitudes. Second, it increases the likelihood that different departments, divisions, teams, and functions will work in coordination and harmony by sharing resources and working effectively. Thirdly, by laying out a well-planned structure and design, an organization gives an implicit message to the workers that how it wants them to behave, what attitudes it encourages, what is simply intolerable, and what it desires its members to accomplish. In a way, design and structure are directly linked with employee performance and organizational productivity. What is organizational structure? As defined by Jones in 2007, organizational structure is the formal system of task and job reporting relationships that determine how employees use resources to achieve the organizational goals effectively. It is to be noted that organizational designs are framed for a purpose. The common purposes for which organizational structures are framed include organizational strategy, to cope up with environmental uncertainty, to reflect the beliefs and assumptions of those in power, and to support its core technology. What is organizational design? In contrast, organizational design is the procedure of making the specific choices about how to arrange the tasks and job relationships that comprise the organizational structure. It is a process by which management identifies various components of the organization and forms a structural framework in accordance to which the components coordinate, integrate, and function. The culture and climate in which an organization is operating is given due consideration while designing organizational structure. Contingency theory of organizational structure. Organizations are continuously affected by various environmental contingencies or situations that keep changing its demands in terms of structure and design. As each organization has a different set of contingencies, there is no one best way to design an organization. Due to this, certain factors have been elaborated in the contingency theory that forms a guideline for designing the structure of an organization. According to contingency theory, an organizational structure should be designed to match the contingencies, that is, factors or conditions that affect it the most and cause it the most uncertainty. The three important factors that need to be considered while designing an organizational structure are the nature of organizational environment, advancement in technology, especially the information technology, and human resources characteristics. The nature of organizational environment. Organizations are surrounded and affected by a variety of social, cultural, political, and economic environment. As a general rule, the rapidity with which the forces in the organizational environment change, the most likely the choice of design will be the one that brings flexibility to the organization. This is due to the fact that rapidly changing environment brings uncertainty and problems related to accessing of resources that organization requires to perform well. In lieu of taking quick decisions related to procurement of resources and speeding up the communication process to maintain the efficiency, the organization needs to be flexible and adaptable with respect to changing environment. In such cases, it is required that organization adopts decentralized policies and gives autonomy to the employees to take decisions. This is the reason that with the advent of globalization, many organizations have adopted self-managed, team-based organizational structure. In contrast, a stable environment in which resources are easily available and uncertainty is less, a formal or stable structure is efficacious. Formal policies, centralized decision-making, and a well-defined hierarchy of authority are likely to be appropriate in this case. Advancement in technology. Defined formally, technology is the combination of skills, knowledge, tools, machines, computers, and equipment that is used in the design, production, and distribution of goods and services. Technology is an inseparable component of organizations in the contemporary times. As a rule, the more complicated the technology an organization uses, the more difficult it is to control and manage. In such a case, a flexible organizational structure is required so that employees have freedom to respond to unexpected changes and can appropriately respond to the problems encountered due to information technology. In contrast, the more routine the technology, the well laid down designs would exist, and less flexible structure and design will be effective. The tasks in such organizations will be simple, with steps followed to produce goods and services worked out in advance. Thus, a formal structure will be more effective to reach targets and goals. Characteristics of human resources. The third important contingency factor that decides the structure and design of an organization is the characteristics of its human resources and their employability relationships. In general, the high-skilled human resource demands flexible and decentralized structure. In such a case, the organization thrives on the skill and talent of its human resource pool. Skilled workforce performs efficiently in teams or groups. They dislike close supervision and desire autonomy and freedom in their work. A flexible structure with less hierarchy of authority and autonomous team-based designs are best in such contingencies. Also, a longer and better employment relation the employees share with their organizations, the more decentralized and flexible structures they prefer. In contrast, a less skilled workforce doing mechanical, routine, and automated tasks work best in stable, formal, and stringent structure. Organic structure and mechanistic structures. Based on the contingency theory of organizational structure, the organizations can be categorized into two types: organic and mechanical. Organizations with organic structure. Organizations with organic structure have flexibility, autonomy, and less hierarchy so that the employees can work on their own and bring about the desired change to organizational environment uncertainty. Employees in such an organization are highly skilled, empowered, and motivated to work in teams and groups for the sole purpose of doing a task in the best ways. They also need to upgrade their skills continuously, work with shared group norms and values, and coordinate to achieve organizational goals. In contrast, organizations with mechanistic structure are less complex, have certain environment and work under formal and controlled structure. Employees in such an organization are less skilled and are expected to behave in a predictable and accountable way. The power is generally centralized, the decisions taken at the top management level and communicated downwards. The tasks are clearly defined and each one knows their area of responsibility precisely. The functioning of organization rests upon the system of rules, regulations, and policies that need to be followed stringently by the task force. Types of organizational structures. Organizations need structures for various reasons. The three broad purposes for designing an organizational structure are: to differentiate activities performed by organization, to group people into functions, and to group people into various divisions. Based on the above reasons, 5 main organizational structures are functional, product, market, geographic, and matrix. A functional structure. A function is a group of people who have similar set of skills and use same kind of knowledge, tools, and techniques to perform their jobs. These are the people who work on the similar kinds of tasks and are at similar positions in an organization. Organizational structure based on functions of the organization group jobs together according to their functions. It is based on job specializations that an organization requires to produce its goods or services. Example, with growing business in 1990s, Dell created the functional structure as depicted in the figure, in which the company came up with various functional groups, each specific to perform particular task on the basis of division of labor and specialization. Divisional structure. A divisional structure is a more specialized form that develops from a second grouping of functional structure in the form of divisions. A division is a group of functions created to specialize in making and selling a particular kind of good or service. When divisions are created, an organization can perform its functions more effectively. The three types of divisional structures that organizations adopt are product structures, market structures, and geographic structures. Example, ITC has divisional structure. The organization headed by Executive Director and Deputy Executive Director has four main divisions, namely Division of Country Program, Division of Market Development, Division of Business and Institutional Support, and Division of Program Support. Product structure. It is a kind of divisional organizational structure in which an organization groups people and functions so that it can produce a wide variety of different products. The main reason to adopt product structure is to have division of labor in accordance to the product that a company produces. The aim is to make and sell a wide range of products. Example, General Electric or GE used product structure and created many product-centric divisions in the organization, with each division having its own set of functions. Market structure. It is a type of divisional organizational structure which focuses to deliver products to customers in a way that best meets their needs. It groups people and functions into divisions to respond to the needs of particular types of customers. In order to meet the specific requirements of each customer, organizations group their functions according to the type of customer's needs. Example, organizations offering product-based services to consumers like staples have market structure. They have product divisional categories of 4 types depending on the type the customer it serves. Corporate customers, small business customers, individual customers, and government agencies. Geographic structure. A type of divisional organizational structure especially meant for companies who have expanded broadly on global map. In this, divisions are broken down according to geographical locations. Overall, the organization creates broad geographical divisions at home and abroad, and at each specific division, managers can customize their designs that suit that particular location. Example, large retailers like Brooks Brothers, Coca-Cola have adopted geographic structure with regional divisions. This type of structure gives flexibility to managers to choose the range of products best suited to the needs of customers of that location. Matrix structure. When rapidly changing market offers a great deal of uncertainty to an organization, in which the employees are expected to respond quickly, the above mentioned product, market, and geographical structures may not be able to give stability and survival to the organization. This also happens when technology is fast evolving and the needs of the customers change rapidly. In such instances, organizations adopt the most flexible type of structure called the matrix structure. In a matrix structure, managers group people and resources in two ways simultaneously, by function and by product. Functional grouping allows employees to learn new skills as per the function essential to achieve a specific target. In addition, grouping by means of product let them work in coordination to develop a specific product. This results in complex network of reporting relationships among function team and product team that makes matrix structure flexible. Matrix structure is essentially required for organizations' continuing success, in which innovation and creativity are of great importance. The figure given depicts how a matrix structure is designed. The vertical lines depict the division by functions of an organization, and the horizontal lines show division by product teams involved in manufacturing of the organization's products. Recent innovations in organizational designs. Organizational designs are continuously evolving as per the need of changing environment. The classical hierarchical, bureaucratic or humanistic organizational structures have found to be obsolete in contemporary times. The field of organizational behavior has seen many changes in last 2 decades due to the challenges of competitive environment. In this section, we examine 2 recent innovations in organizational structure: the team-based organization and the virtual organization. First, we talk about the team-based organization. Organizations are frequently using teams to achieve its targets and goals, especially in the last 2 decades. Research findings indicate that the performance of a team is superior to the individual employees working on tasks. Working in team fosters creativity and utilizes employees' skills in a better way. According to Moherman and Coom 2000, in a team-based organization, teams are used to carry out their core work, to develop and deliver the products and services that provide value to customers. In such organizations, teams are solely responsible for all the activities, including planning, administering, executing, budgeting, staffing, compensating, etc. The coordination among the various teams is an essential prerequisite to run a team-based organization, as activities of one team largely influence the activities of others. The given figure depicts an example of a team-based organization in which major divisions are classified by teams that perform their specific roles. Now we talk about the virtual organization. In the era of e-business, e-organization and e-trade, organizations exist at different physical locations and employees are hired across the globe. This has given rise to a new concept in management literature called the virtual organization. According to Galbraith, a virtual organization is one, for example, in which an organization decides to produce a product or service but contracts with other firms to provide a key part of that product or service. The main motivation to form a virtual organization is cost reduction. Moreover, contracting out peripheral functions lets an organization to focus on its core business. They stick to and perform what they are best at and give the supporting components to another firm. However, besides advantages, virtual organizations face many challenges too. There is always a risk of quality standards when any function or division of a company is outsourced. Also, business relationships need to be maintained for long-term partnership. The culture clash between the parent and the partner organization also needs to be taken care of in a virtual organizational design. Summary. The structure and design of an organization largely regulate and predict the behavior of employees working in it. Organizational structure is the formal system of task and job reporting relationships that determines how employees use resources to achieve the organizational goals effectively. Organizational design is the procedure of making the specific choices about how to arrange the tasks and job relationships that comprise the organizational structure. According to contingency theory, an organizational structure should be designed to match the contingencies, that is, the factors or conditions that affect it most and cause it the most uncertainty. Organizations with organic structure have flexibility, autonomy, and less hierarchy so that employees can work on their own and bring about the desired change to organizational environment uncertainty. In contrast, organizations with mechanistic structure are less complex, have certain environment, and work under formal and controlled structure. The 5 main organizational structures are functional, product, market, geographic, and matrix. In a team-based organization, teams are used to carry out their core work to develop and deliver the products and services that provide value to customers. A virtual organization is one, for example, in which an organization decides to produce a product or service but contracts with other firms to provide a key part of that product or service.